In this lesson, I'll be adding the enemy pool of objects. We have a pool of objects for bullets and for enemy bullets and for play bullets, but we don't have one for enemies yet. So that's something important that we need to add now. This method is going to be called create enemy. And we will use this method afterwards when we need to create multiple enemies. So I'm going to type in create enemy in game state. When we call this method, I want to give it actually some parameters for this enemy creation. So I want to give it X, Y, the health, the key, the scale, speed on X, and speed on Y. The way it's going to work is similar to the way the other pools that we have created work. So the first thing we need to do is try to draw a dead enemy from our pool of objects. That's the first part. So we get the first one that is dead. If none of them are dead, so if we don't have a free one that we can use, we need to create one. So then enemy will be equal to new space hipster.enemy. We pass in the game object X, Y, the key, health, and this .enemy bullets. That's how we create a new enemy. That's the constructor of our enemy prefab that we've defined at the start. And of course we need to add that to our group enemies. Add enemy. On the other side, if there's already an available entity for us to use, we can make use of our reset method. Enemy.reset, and we'll pass X, we'll pass Y, health, key, scale, speed X, and speed Y. All the things that we needed. Actually, this should be called in any case, because when we create the enemy, we're not giving it the velocity or the scale. So this is not going to be an else statement, but instead it's just going to go here. So that's going to be called all the time. Now that we have a create enemy method, let's test it. Let's try it. And actually, I'm going to get rid of that hard-coded enemy that we've had with us for a while, because we no longer need it. So now we don't have any enemy in there. I'm going to type in space hipster.gamestate.create enemy. I'm going to create one enemy in 50, 50, 50, 100. I'll give it a health of 100. It'll have the key red enemy and a scale of 1, speed X 10, speed Y 40. So we have now an enemy, and it behaves as we've defined. We can create more enemies like this. So we have now, well, there's two in the same spot, but if we create another one, there we go. So we have now multiple enemies. To summarize, we've implemented a pool of objects following the exact same methodology that we previously used in a bunch of examples. The only difference is that in this case we have a custom reset method that we're using, but other than that it's all exactly the same.